The most protected workers in the entire economy right now are not lawyers, not doctors, not software engineers, not creative directors or data scientists or anyone with a master's degree and a LinkedIn with 1,000 connections. The most protected workers in the AI era are plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, and a handful of other jobs that our society has spent the last 50 years treating as backup plans for people who couldn't cut it academically. That's not an opinion. That's what the data actually shows. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why and what it means for your career, okay? Let me explain the plumber thing, because I know how that sounds. There's a principle in AI research called Moravec's paradox. A roboticist at Carnegie Mellon named Hans Moravec identified it back in the 1980s, and it basically says this: the things that are hardest for computers are the things humans do almost without thinking. Walking through a cluttered room without knocking anything over, picking up a cup without crushing it, reading someone's face in dim lighting, climbing into a crawl space under a Victorian house and diagnosing a pipe problem you have never seen before, in conditions that were never designed to be worked in, and fixing it with your hands. That last one? That's the plumber's entire job description. Think about what actually happens when a plumber shows up to a house. Every house is different, the pipes are different, the access points are different. The problem is unique. They are making real-time decisions in an unpredictable three-dimensional environment using their hands, their eyes, and about 20 years of pattern recognition that lives in their body, not in any database anywhere in the world. No robot does that today, and the robots that could do it would cost more to deploy than just paying a plumber. The median salary for an electrician in the UK is around £40,000 to £50,000. In the US, it's $60,000 to $80,000. These jobs are in shortage. Demand is growing. They cannot be done remotely. They cannot be replaced algorithmically, and there are not enough people going into them. The irony? These are the exact jobs that parents spent decades steering their kids away from. Get a degree, get a proper job, don't work with your hands. Turns out, the hands were the whole point. The second category of genuinely safe jobs is human care, and I want to be specific here because not all of healthcare is safe. I'll come back to that in a minute. But certain roles, they're essentially AI-proof, and the reason has nothing to do with the technology being insufficient. It has to do with you. When you're at the worst moment of your life, when your marriage is falling apart, when your child is in crisis, when a doctor has just told you something that changes everything, you will not accept an algorithm. You won't be comforted by a chatbot. You will not let a language model hold that space for you. You need a person in the room. Mental health therapists, grief counselors, substance abuse counselors, pediatric nurses, hospice workers. These roles are growing in demand, structurally underpaid relative to their importance, and impossible to automate, because the entire value of the relationship depends on it being between two humans. There's research showing that therapy outcomes are significantly driven by something called the therapeutic alliance, the quality of the human bond between therapist and client. You cannot replicate that. You cannot fake it with better prompting. And people know on some deep level when it's fake. But here's where I need to pause for a second, because there's a whole category of jobs that everyone I talk to assumes are completely safe, that are quietly disappearing right now. And if you're in one of them, you need to hear this. Wait until you see the list, because some of these are going to sting. Let me go through these one by one, and I want you to actually sit with each one. Radiologist. In 2020, a Google Health AI detected breast cancer from mammograms more accurately than an average specialist radiologist. Fewer false positives and fewer missed cases. Simultaneously, the radiologists still thriving are the ones working alongside AI as a check. The pure image reading role already compressing. Accountant. Not all accounting, but the vast majority of what most accountants actually spend their day doing, data entry, reconciliation, basic tax prep, financial reporting, is already 80 to 90% automatable. The tools aren't coming, they're here. Paralegal. Law firms are using AI right now to review contracts, flag clauses, conduct case research, and draft standard documents in a fraction of the time a paralegal would take. Some large US firms have meaningfully reduced headcount. Not gone, but compressing fast. Basic financial advisor. Robo-advisors manage over $1 trillion in assets today. entry-level financial planning, build a portfolio, rebalance quarterly, optimize for tax efficiency. That work is largely done. The advisors still winning are the ones doing exclusively the emotional and complex work that requires sitting with a person through the hardest decisions of their financial life. Middle management. I know that one lands differently, but managers whose primary function is information routing, collecting status reports upward, filtering decisions downward, that function is being squeezed on both ends by AI tools that do it faster, cheaper, and without the politics. Here's the pattern you should be noticing. If your job is primarily about processing information and producing a clean output, writing it, calculating it, filing it, summarizing it, routing it, you are in the category that AI is genuinely excellent at, and it is getting better at it every single month. So how do you actually know if your job or the job you're considering is safe? Here's the 3-question test, and I want you to run your own roll through this right now. Question 1, does your job require physical presence in an environment that is different every single time? Not an office, not a controlled workspace, an actual variable physical environment where you have to respond to what's in front of you with your body and your judgment simultaneously. Electrician, yes. Plumber, yes. Nurse in a ward, yes. Data analyst, no. Copywriter, no. Claims processor, no. Question 2, does the person receiving your service have genuine emotional stakes? And would they actually notice if you weren't human? Not just prefer a human. Notice and care. A therapy patient? Yes, deeply. Someone receiving a difficult medical diagnosis? Yes. Someone checking their account balance? No. Someone filing a standard insurance form? No. Question 3. Is there high personal accountability that a human needs to carry? If something goes wrong, who is responsible? A surgeon whose patient doesn't make it carries that. A lawyer whose client goes to prison carries that. An AI can inform those decisions. It cannot carry that weight. It cannot be held accountable in any way that actually matters. Accountability is a human thing. Run your job through those 3 questions. All 3. You're in safe territory for the next decade at minimum. 2 out of 3, relatively protected, but worth thinking about. 1 or 0. You don't need to panic, but you need a strategy, and you need it now, not in 3 years when the pressure is obvious. Here's the thing that almost nobody says in these videos. The goal isn't to find a safe job. The goal is to make yourself safe within your job. And the way you do that is by identifying the part of your work that requires you to actually be human and going deeper on that, not away from it. The electrician who learns to use AI diagnostic tools isn't being replaced by AI. They're using AI to diagnose faster, quote more accurately, and take on more complex projects. They become more valuable, not less. The therapist who genuinely understands what AI can and cannot do, who can explain to a client exactly why the human relationship is irreplaceable, is not being threatened. They're being trusted more. The financial advisor who stops doing the spreadsheet work and starts doing exclusively the difficult emotional work of helping people make hard decisions about money, untouchable. You don't run from AI, you find exactly where you end and AI begins, and then you invest everything, your time, your learning, your identity, into that line. That line is where your career lives now. So, what jobs are safest from AI? The honest answer, the ones where you have to show up, in body, in emotion, with genuine accountability, the trades, the caregivers, the people who sit with you in the hardest moments of your life, the people whose hands carry the solution to a problem that has never existed in exactly this shape before. But the practical thing I want you to leave with, the one that actually matters, is this. It's not really about the job title, it's about the part of the job that requires you to be irreducibly human. And every job has some of that. The question is whether you found it, protected it, and committed to going deeper on it than anyone else around you. Because AI isn't coming for your job. It's coming for the parts of your job that never needed you to be human in the first place. And honestly, those parts were never the interesting ones anyway. If this made you think differently about your career, share it with someone in a job they think is safe. They might need this conversation more than they realize. See you in the next one.